Harrison, golden in her debut.
Oh, that's tight.
Fryer
Oh,
taps.
taps.
She actually gives Kayla the space, and there is the tap. She just squeezes from the full mount position. You drop a tap.
Kayla Harrison!
Women's lightweight playoff action. That's Kayla Harrison, a two-time Olympic judo gold medalist, and she wants to be the best fighter in the world.
And finally one day they all got sick of me and my 16-year-old self, and Rhonda said, you know what? Your name is Doug, and that's it. So she got me a belt, a black belt with the name Doug on it, and I actually won the World Championships with my Doug belt on. So I'm Dougie Fresh.
Kayla Harrison is called Doug because of her relentless grappling and world-class judo. Fans and experts even call her the greatest of all time in grappling, and her record backs that up. With a near-perfect 19-1 record, she has 4 first-round TKOs, 1 TKO in the second and 1 in the third, proving she's not just a grappler. She can strike and finish fights anywhere, but her greatest weapon is her ground game. 5 first-round submission wins and 3 second-round submissions.
Just locked in. She's got it locked.
And she just squeezes from the full mount position. You drop a tap. Kayla Harrison, first round submission.
I heard there's a girl in Bellator who thinks she's a bad bitch. Well, why don't we find out?
With this kind of dominance, Kayla Harrison stands as the biggest threat to our dangerous Dakota Ditcheva. Dakota doesn't have much experience in grappling, which means Kayla could take her down, overwhelm her, break her, and hand her the first loss of her career, turning 15-0 into 15-1. So now the real question is Kayla Harrison the next Dakota Ditcheva? Or is she the fighter who finally beats Dakota Ditcheva? Let's break it down.
You are a two-time Olympic gold medalist in judo.
That's right.
The greatest, not female, man, woman, the greatest in U.S. history. And this is Lucas.
No gold medals.
No gold medals here. And you
What
are
about,
gonna
like, ribbons in school? Like
Participation ribbons, yeah.
Awesome.
A few.
Okay, cool.
no medals.
Right up here.
You were gonna show him a judo throw. Would
Yes.
that be the right way to
Yes.
say it? Okay. Don't hurt him.
I won't. Okay. Don't think. All right, so we're gonna bow.
We sign a waiver?
Show respect. Okay, this is Ogoshi. It's my favorite judo throw. It's like a major hip throw. Right, move here. I don't want to hit the TV. So you just, first of all, you're gonna grab the wrist. You're gonna give him a hug around the back like this. You're gonna turn like this, and then.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's it. Oh, I should have helped him up. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Normally, I just like.
For a split second there, I was like, oh my God.
You thought
It's like a
was
roller
great.
coaster ride.
That was
right?
really
Yeah.
fast at first.
Two-time Olympic gold medalist, Kayla Harrison.
People don't just call her Doug anymore, they call her the greatest of all time in grappling, and the numbers don't lie. Kayla Doug Harrison's perfect record, 19-1. Let me break down why she's the grappling GOAT. Submission, dominance, 5 submission wins in the first round, 5. 3 submission wins in the second round, 3. The second round, 8 total submissions. That's 42% of her wins by making opponents tap out.
I remember, well, I had always watched Rhonda and my old teammate Rick Hahn, and we kind of all sort of became fans of MMA when I was young and up and coming. And I remember watching Rhonda and thinking, like, man, if she can do this, I can do this. Like, anything she can do, I can do better type of, I had a Rhonda complex.
The workouts they had, her and Rhonda, were unbelievable. Me and Jimmy were sitting there one night. Here, they were both crying. And we go, we got the 2 toughest women in the world here. And they're both crying because the workouts were so hard. We were laughing. Go, look at them, both crying.
I'm just trying to give you pointers, sweetheart. That's it.
You want to bow to your sensei real quick?
What's that? What's a body your sister? Oh! It's a prank, though, man. I'm just playing. It's a prank. It's a prank. It's a fucking prank. Look at the camera. Hey! Fuck!
Her weapons? Arm bars, kimuras, rear naked chokes, key locks, you name it, she's finished someone with it. But wait, she's not just a grappler. Here's where it gets scary for Dakota. 4 TKO victories in the first round, 1 TKO in the second round, 1 TKO in the third round, 6 total TKO finishes.
Get
Again, slides out the back, and Kayla's there to greet her one more time, and now teeing off. It is all over. She is golden again.
This means Doug can knock you out if you try to avoid the ground. She's a complete fighter, striker, and grappler. You can't game plan around her because she'll finish you anywhere the fight goes. The Olympic factor. Let's not forget, this woman is a two-time Olympic gold medalist. 2012, London, 2016 Rio. She's the only American ever to win Olympic gold in judo. When Doug gets her hands on you, you're not fighting an MMA grappler. You're fighting Olympic-level technique.
And her opponent fighting out of the red corner. She's a Muay Thai specialist and stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. She weighed in officially at 126 pounds and holds a professional record of 5 victories and no defeats. Fighting out of Manchester, England, Dakota Ditcheva.
Now let's talk about Dakota Ditcheva, the dangerous undefeated British knockout artist. Dakota's record, 15-0. Her knockout power, 12 KO/TKO victories. That's 80% knockout rate. 1 submission win, 2 decision wins. 2024 PFL Women's Flyweight Champion, youngest champion in PFL history. First British female MMA world champion.
Very comfortable.
Switches back.
Job. Oh, lovely combo.
That sounded sweet from here.
Deep down the middle to the chest.
Great knees up the middle. Goodness me, some of those.
I think
She's in real trouble here, Evan, right?
Come on in.
The fence.
We're ready.
So long and rangy.
Put away.
Dakota's fighting style. Dakota is a pure striker with Muay Thai background. She's a 2016 World Muay Thai champion who brings devastating body punches and lightning-fast combinations. She's knocked out 12 opponents, most of them in the first round. Her striking is world-class. Her power is real. She's made experienced fighters crumble with body shots. She's a nightmare for anyone who wants to stand and trade. But here's the million-dollar question. What happens when Dakota faces someone who won't stand and trade? What happens when striking doesn't work? Here's where Dakota's dream becomes a nightmare. Dakota's grappling experience. Almost none look at her record. Only 1 submission win in 15 fights. That's 6.7%. 14 out of 15 wins came on the feet. She's never faced an Olympic-level grappler. Her ground game is untested against elite wrestlers or judokas. She's never been taken down and controlled by someone like Harrison. Now, compare that to Doug. 8 submission victories, 42% of wins. 2 Olympic gold medals in judo trained with Ronda Rousey. Another Olympic judoka, submitted UFC legends like Holly Holm and Juliana Pena, has destroyed every fighter who couldn't defend takedowns. This isn't a slight weakness. This is a massive hole in Dakota's game, and Kayla Harrison is the perfect fighter to expose it. Since entering the UFC, Doug hasn't just won, she's dominated. UFC 300 versus Holly Holm, April 2024. Submitted the legendary striker via rear naked choke in round 2. Holly Holm, former boxing champion, former UFC champion, one of the best strikers in women's MMA, tapped out to Doug, UFC 307 versus Ketlin Vieira, October 2024. Unanimous decision victory over a dangerous Brazilian contender. UFC 316 versus Juliana Pena, June 2025. Won the UFC Women's Bantamweight Championship via Kimura at the end of round 2. 2-time champion Pena had no answer for Doug's grappling. Performance of the night bonus. Harrison is now a UFC champion, and she's beaten the division's best. She's proven she can handle elite strikers, tough grapplers, and championship-level fighters. Dakota, she's fighting in the PFL against fighters who don't have half of Harrison's credentials. Let me paint you the picture of how this fight goes. So let's answer the question. Is Dakota Ditcheva dangerous? Absolutely. She's got world-class striking, and she's finished everyone in her path. But is she ready for Kayla Doug Harrison? Hell no. Smash that like button, subscribe for more MMA breakdowns, and hit the bell so you don't miss when this fight actually happens. Let's see if Dakota has the guts to face the GOAT. Doug is waiting.
My name is Erin Blanchfield, and I'm a professional MMA fighter and also a full-time student at Montclair State University. I'm Team Parabolic.
Erin, cold-blooded Blanchfield!
It's nice having coaches that have certain systems to progress versus just winging it. Since I've been coming to Parabolic, I feel more explosive and stronger and overall more athletic.
Erin Blanchfield, nicknamed Cold-Blooded, is the biggest threat to our dangerous Dakota Ditcheva. Why? Her grappling background is deadly, and her record is near perfect at 13-2.
She's got a lot of power. This flyweight to took the fight, and Erin Blanchfield trying to close the show. It is done! Wow! Cold-blooded Erin Blanchfield.
Out of Elmwood Park, New Jersey, Erin, cold-blooded Blanchfield!
She has 1 knockout in the first round, 1 knockout in the second round, 2 submissions in the first, and 2 submissions in the second. Can Dakota handle this grappling master?
It was just like I was already training it, and I was doing both disciplines like grappling and kickboxing, and I felt like I was progressing really well in it, and it was just something that I loved doing, and I saw that they could compete and like make a living and like show them like their technique, and that women could do it too, and it was just something that I wanted to do after I saw them do that.
Erin Blanchfield is the biggest problem for Dakota in the flyweight division right now. On the other hand, she's undefeated, untested, unstoppable.
Now her opponent fighting out of the red corner. She's a Muay Thai specialist and stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. She weighed in officially at 126 pounds and holds a professional record of 5 victories and no defeats. Fighting out of Manchester, England, Dakota Ditcheva.
Dakota Ditcheva has been mauling everyone in her path with brutal body shots and lightning-fast striking. 15 wins, 0 losses, 12 knockouts. She's the most dangerous woman in the flyweight division right now.
Come on in.
Defense.
We're ready.
So long and rangy.
Put away.
But there's one fighter who could be her kryptonite 1 specialist, who brings exactly what Dakota has never faced. A cold-blooded assassin from New Jersey who doesn't trade strikes. She takes you to her world.
There's the tap. A tap for Erin Blanchfield. Impressive stuff for the 18-year-old. Very close. That is extended. It is done.
Nice.
Erin Blanchfield.
Arms almost straight. It's great. It's great. It's great tap.
There's the tap. That is a wrap. Erin Blanchfield is the first ever women's flyweight champion.
So many upsets. All the competitors that were standing and watching and draw off.
Unbelievable.
The new EBI 12 female flyweight champion, Erin Cold-Blooded Blanchfield.
This girl doesn't just win. She finishes fights in the worst way possible for strikers. On the ground, trapped, suffocating under relentless pressure. Blanchfield isn't just a UFC fighter. She's a former Eddie Bravo Invitational champion. That's one of the most prestigious grappling tournaments in the world. She started training in jiu-jitsu at 7 years old. By the time she was 12, she knew she wanted to be a professional fighter.
I felt so calm and like this is what I'm meant to do, you know, I compete at these high levels and win.
worth 50 Ks right there.
I think it was too. I wish I was good enough to check.
Division. Out of the blue corner. What loss? She stands 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 125 and 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Elmwood, New Jersey, Erin Cold-Blooded Blanchfield.
This isn't someone who learned grappling for MMA. This is someone who was a grappler and added MMA to her arsenal. Let's look at WHO she's beaten in the UFC, Jessica Andrade. Former UFC champion submitted in round 2.
Even with the Molly fight getting booed, I knew that like them booing me is not going to help her win that fight. Like it's not her fighter. It's not going to help her in anything. She still has to deal with me. And I know I'm better than her everywhere. So that's kind of how I thought about that. I just thought it was kind of funny, especially when I was in the fight. I remember I had her in the crucifix and she got her arm out for like a second and the crowd cheered and I was like, you guys are so dumb. And I put her right back in the, and then they went silent again. So I knew those boos and the cheers, like, they don't really mean anything. So like, you have to fight that person, they have to fight you. That's all that really matters.
Kayla Santos, the same woman who pushed Valentina Shevchenko to a split decision in a title fight. Blanchfield dominated her for 15 minutes. Molly McCann submitted with a Kimura in round 1 at Madison Square Garden in front of a hostile crowd. Miranda Maverick dominated with 8 takedowns that set the UFC women's flyweight single fight record.
4 come by way of submission stoppage. Oh, the beautiful kick by Aaron Blanchfield. Leonardo in trouble.
Wow, that was beautiful.
Not just a jiu-jitsu player, is Aaron Blanchfield.
Keeping Sarah against the fence, giving her nowhere to move to. And I tell you, I don't think Sarah can continue taking these kind of shots.
And here's the scary part. In that Maverick fight, she didn't just get takedowns. She got 8 of them. That's not luck. That's systematic dismantling. Now let's talk about Dakota Ditcheva, the woman everyone's been hyping as the next big thing. She has a perfect 15-0 record, 12 knockouts, 1 submission, 2 decisions. She's the 2024 PFL Women's Flyweight Champion. She did it in style, winning $1 million in the process. Dakota's not just throwing hands. She's a 3-time junior world champion in Muay Thai who represented Great Britain at the 2016 IFMA World Championships and won gold. Her signature: devastating body shots. She doesn't headhunt like most fighters. She attacks the liver, the ribs, the midsection until her opponents crumble. That's how she finished Kayla Santos, the same fighter Blanchfield went to decision with. Dakota knocked her out by TKO with body punches in round 2. But here's the thing. Dakota has fought 15 times professionally. And in those 15 fights, how many elite grapplers has she faced?
Right on the money, baby. What a champ.
Look at her competition: Lisa Malden, striker; Chelsea Hackett, striker; Gina Bishop, striker; Kayla Santos, solid grappling but primarily a striker; Cornelia Holmes, striker. See the pattern.
My earliest memory from fighting would be from when I was 4 years old, I would say. I do remember a little bit of it, probably because on the same day my brother ended up busting his lip in another fight by accident, so that's probably what I remember firstly about the sport.
Oh, look at these two. Cute. The 1998 this would have been, would it? No, 2002, yeah, so 2002 this would have been, you were 4 years old. Oh, first kick straight away. And then the hands go.
Look at my face! Oh my god, it's so aggressive.
You do, them kicks are going straight after the punches.
Look like a box in the back.
Oh, left, right.
Problem number 1. The takedown machine. Dakota's takedown defense is untested at the elite level. Meanwhile, Blanchfield averages multiple takedowns per fight.
It's great, it's great, it's great tap.
There's the tap. Aaron Blanchfield is the first ever women's flyweight champion.
I've been training since I was 7. I've been doing jiu-jitsu as well as Muay Thai. I plan on getting into MMA after this, and UFC just opened up at 125, so you'll see me with that belt in a few years.
Against Miranda Maverick, she hit 8. Against Rose Namajunas, a former champion with elite grappling, she still managed to control position and win every round. If you can't stop the takedown, you can't use your striking. It's that simple. Problem number 2, the submission threat. Dakota has 1 submission win in 15 fights. Erin has 4 in 13 fights. Blanchfield is tied for second most submissions in UFC women's flyweight history with 3.
Brogan Sanchez eating a ton of punishment. That is vicious. Cold-blooded Erin Blanchfield. Unable to close the show, but you can't.
Problem number 3, the pressure cooker. Dakota thrives in striking exchanges. She needs space to set up her body kicks and combinations.